If you manage multiple social media accounts, whether for clients or your own brand, you already know the biggest fear. You see, one login mistake, one suspicious signal, and suddenly an account gets restricted. Now, let me be clear. There's no magic tool that makes accounts immune, but there's a professional way to manage multiple social accounts safely and reduce risk significantly. In this video, I'll show you exactly how serious social media managers do it. Now, let's start by asking, why do accounts get flagged? You see, before we talk about the tools, we need to understand the problem. Most account issues happen because of multiple logins from different locations, shared devices between accounts, inconsistent browser identities is also one of those reasons, switching between mobile and desktop without structure, and then of course using disconnected tools that don't align. You see, platforms are now smart. They track behavior patterns and they track behavior patterns and also identity signals. So if your workflow looks chaotic, it increases risk. And so the goal isn't shortcuts, the goal is structure. Now, what is the professional way to manage multiple accounts? If you're a freelancer, agency owner, or you're part of a growth team, you would need one, a clear separation between accounts, consistent identity signals. You would also need a secure environment and a scalable system. That is where platforms like Multilogin come in. You see, Multilogin is designed specifically for professional social media managers who handle multiple accounts across web and mobile. Let me show you exactly how Multilogin works. Most managers handle platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. They do all that from desktop browsers. So what Multilogin does is that Multilogin includes an advanced anti-detect browser that creates fully isolated browser profiles. It also maintains consistent browser identity signals. And then it separates each account into its own environment. So instead of you logging in and out of the same Chrome window, each account lives inside its own dedicated profile. You see, that separation is key for long-term account stability. Now, let's talk about the mobile-first platform management, which is also called cloud phones. Now, here is where things usually get a lot messy. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Threads, they are all mobile-first platforms. And you see, many managers try to control them using emulators or random devices. What Multilogin does is that Multilogin uses real Android cloud phones, not simulators. These cloud phones provide real hardware identities, persistent app data, native Android app behavior, and this means your mobile account operates inside authentic Android environment. And this will help you maintain long-term stability when you are managing multiple mobile profiles. Now, here is what makes this platform powerful. Most tools only solve one side of the problem, either desktop or mobile. But you see, Multilogin combines an advanced anti-detect browser, real Android cloud phones, all inside one unified dashboard. So instead of you juggling multiple laptops, separate devices, random proxy tools, you manage everything in one organized workflow. So less chaos, of course, means fewer mistakes. You see, another important factor in account stability is consistent geolocation and identity alignment. So what Multilogin does is that it integrates residential proxies for desktop profiles, mobile-grade proxies for cloud phones, geolocation matched identity signals as well. So you don't need to have any third-party tools or try to patch things together. You don't need that. Everything becomes structured and properly aligned. If you run an agency, now here's the real benefit. Imagine you being able to add new client accounts without increasing the risk of losing that account. Imagine being able to assign permissions to team members. Imagine being able to use bulk action. Imagine being able to keep profiles isolated. So instead of growth creating confusion, your growth becomes much more structured. And when you manage accounts at scale, that peace of mind really does matter for you. So right now, I'm going to go into my laptop and show you exactly how Multilogin works. Also show you how the platform, everything you need to know about Multilogin. I'm going to show you all that right now. I'm sure you can see my screen. Right now, I'm currently logged into my Multilogin account and my Multilogin app. Okay, for you to get started, you need to go into the website multilogin.com, and you can see here, you can try for just 1.99 pounds. That's really very low. So you can just give it a trial and see if you would really love this platform. Of course, for those who want to try for 3 days, you can just pay this amount and try for 3 days. But if you're ready to use Multilogin, I'm going to be leaving details on how you can get a whooping 50% discount using my discount code for Multilogin. Okay, right? So let's say you've gotten all that and you're now logged into the platform, right? This is my own Multilogin platform. Now, this is exactly what you see. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about Multilogin is that this platform is pretty much very simple, easy to navigate. On the left side, you see my account here, profiles, proxies, templates, extensions, team, docs, and then you can see here whether we are doing browser or mobile. You can see we can switch between both. Now we have our folders here. All our profiles are here, trash bin, and then you can see here there's a create button here. There's a quick button here, quick profile. So that means we can use this to create a quick profile. Multilogin also has this AI tool here, which we're going to use also in this video. Now, let's start by how to create a profile. Let's start by creating a proxy profile. So now for me, the use case could be, let's say I want to create another Facebook account, or let's say I want to maybe create a TikTok account in the US, right? Or I want to create a YouTube account in the US, and I don't want to use VPN, right? And I want that account to be operated as though it is in the US. I can use Multilogin to achieve this. So for me to do this, I'm going to click on the create. Let me show you how to do it manually before we look at the shortcuts on doing this. So I'm going to click on the create. Now, when I click on the create, the first thing you see here is general. So the profile name. So let's call this, let me call this UK Facebook account. So let's say we want to use that for that. Then profile template. Now, we don't have any profile template, so I'll click none. Now, folder, we can use our default folder because we've not created any. Pre-made cookies. Well, you can decide to choose this or just leave this empty, right? So I'm not choosing anything there. Tags. I can say, let me create another tag for, let's just call it Facebook account for UK, right? And I'll just click that tag. Now, just a short profile summary. So I'm going to say UK Facebook account, right? Facebook for, I can just, whatever it's going to be used for, let's say for BizLift, something like that. Okay. Now, startup tab behavior, we can say custom, right? This is the start URL. So that means that every time we start this is the URL that will first of all open, which is good. We can add any other URL, but I always like to leave it this way. Now, operating system, right here, choose the right operating system. I'm going to be choosing Mac OS because I'm using Mac OS for this, right? I'm using Mac OS, so my operating system is Mac OS. If you're going to be using Android, you can see, or any other operating system you're using, but I'm using my laptop, so I'm using Mac OS. If you're using a Windows laptop, choose Windows. My browser, I can choose between Mimic X or Stealth X. Now, what is the difference? Mimic X is like your normal Safari. It looks like your Safari. And then Stealth X looks like your Chrome. That's just, they're just like a copy of those browsers. Now, storage, I like to use cloud. If I use cloud, I can access it anytime. But if I use local, it means I can only access that profile on my laptop, right? So that's why we use cloud. Okay, proxy. I'm going to use Multilogin. Connection type is residential. Now, when we get to location, instead of random, I can choose the location I'm going to use this. So this is going to be United Kingdom. So I'm going to choose United Kingdom as the location to use this. Okay. I'm going to choose United Kingdom. Okay. Now we can decide to choose the region of United Kingdom that we want, or we could just leave that. It's optional. So I'm just going to leave that. Then ISP, optional as well. Now for the protocol, I'm going to use HTTP. HTTP, right? And I'm going to keep the IP for as long as possible. So I'm going to use HTTP, TTP there. And then now, usually all these parts, I leave it open because it's whatever it is that has been selected there by Multilogin is usually the best setting. So I'm going to leave that all open and I'm going to click on create. Now, when I click on create, this profile is going to be created. Now, you're going to see how we're going to be able to use this profile now. You know, it's very, very simple and easy to use. This profile very soon. Now, you can see here, look at the profile, UK Facebook account, default folder, UK, it is being created already. Now, for me to use this profile, very simple, I'm going to click on start. Now, when I click on start, this is going to automatically open my web browser. Now, you will see this. This is absolutely amazing. Just hold on and you will see what it's going to open up right now. All right, so you can see now that I've clicked on the start. Now, it's already opening up my browser. You can see. So now that it's opened up my browser, I'm going to wait for it and then, okay, let's see. Of course, you can see it now. Look at it now. Can you see? Look at my IP. My IP is 82.36. Can you see the IP? England, United Kingdom. Can you see? Now, if I restart this, the IP remains the same. If I restart this, the IP remains the same. It's not changing. So you see, this is exactly, so anything I want to do now, I can just open another tab, right? And I can just search, go to maybe Facebook, and I can start doing what I want to do. So let's say I'm going to Facebook, facebook.com. Now let's go to Facebook. So I can easily just go and sign up on Facebook right now, and I would have a UK Facebook account. This is absolutely amazing, and this, I mean, it's great for a lot of things, for a lot of reasons, okay? So I can open an account. Of course, you know that if you're going to be opening an account in the UK, a Facebook account for UK, you need to have like phone number and all those things. This is actually very great. It is very also, I mean, it's very good because it can also help you manage multiple accounts. So that means if I'm managing an account in the UK and I want that account not to have any issues, because I don't want it to look like I'm logging in from the account in Nigeria, I want it to look like I'm logging in from the account in the UK, I can use Multilogin to act as though I'm logging into the account in the UK. And that keeps the account very safe. It keeps the account, it reduces the risk of that account getting flagged. It reduces, especially for a lot of people who, you know, you run an agency, you have clients in the UK, in the US, you don't want to log into their account in a different location so that you don't affect them. Can you see? So now, everything I'm doing in this browser, everything I'm doing on this browser, whether I'm opening a Facebook account, everything is going to act as though it is in the UK. If I also try to open a TikTok account or any of such things, now I'm doing this for Facebook because I want to use this for Facebook. If I wanted to do for TikTok, I would do the same thing, create a TikTok profile, and I will go to TikTok and do everything I want to do on that. So I can manage this Facebook account, create the account. You can see if I click on create account, right? Let's try that. You would see what it looks like and what would show up. Okay, let's just try that just to confirm something. Now you can see here, look at everything here. You can see password, we can do all these things. We can create the account right here without any hassle. We can create our account and we can move on. Our account is going to be domiciled in the UK, right? That's that part. Now, let's look at other things that you can do with, I'm going to stop that now. Now, let's look at other things that you can do with Multilogin. Now, I just showed you how to create it manually. Another thing you can do is that aside from creating manually, you can use Multilogin's AI. They have an AI right here where you can use it to create your profiles very fast. How do you use it? I'm going to type at AI, then click enter. Once you click enter, then you can write your prompt. You can say, okay, create a TikTok profile, right? Let's just do that very well. Create a TikTok profile for Canada. Can you see? So create a TikTok profile for Canada, and then we're going to click on enter. And then before you know it, it's going to do that automatically for you. It's going to create the TikTok profile for Canada straight on for you. Now let's wait for that. Just take a few seconds or a minute thereabout, and you will see that created already. Can you see it says AI quick action successful? So let's wait for it to, now when we check our list, it's supposed to come under my list of profiles here. Can you see TikTok? Can you see TikTok default folder? So if I just click on start, I can immediately just start a browser with the TikTok and I can go ahead. So the AI prompt is usually very good. You can do anything. For example, you can tell it create 2 mimic profiles with proxies from the US and UK. It can do that as well. So you can, now the other one here is quick profile. You can create a quick profile if you want to. Let's say you just want to quickly create a quick profile. But to create a quick profile, you need a template. So what you want to do is to go and create your template. Now, how do you create your template? On the left side, you see templates. Now, you can create a template. Now, I've already done one here, but you can click on create and you can immediately create a simple template. And that template basically is going to look like a profile, right? Just give it the name, target website if you have one. If you don't have one, can you see? The same thing we did when we were creating a profile, but this time around, we're creating it as a template so that when we want to now go to profiles, right? Let's quit this. So that when we want to go into the profiles, we can easily do a quick profile using the template that we have created. Do you understand? So that's where the, and with the quick profile, I can create like up to about 50 or 25 profiles. I think about 25 profiles all at once using this quick profile, right? For example, let me just click on quick profile to show you that. Can you see number of profiles? I can create 25 max. So I can create 25. So let's say maybe I want to create, maybe let's use my template, a YouTube account. And I need to create like different YouTube accounts. And I want each of those profiles to have like, I want it to be for different YouTube channels. I can use 25 profiles and 25 profiles will be created at once. And once I launch that, immediately 25 web browsers will be launched. Let me show you. So YouTube template, let's say 20, let's just say 10. Okay, so let's say 10, Mac OS, Linux, everything is fine here. HTTPS. Now, let's just say launch. Now, but before we launch, we can check the proxy. We can decide to check the proxy if we want to. Okay, we can decide to check the proxy. Okay, check your traffic balance and refresh IP. Okay, so we can immediately click launch. Let's see if we try and click launch. And let's see if it's going to launch the 10 profiles. Can you see? It's already saying starting quick profiles. Now, what you will notice is that these quick profiles, it's going to launch, open my browser, and it's going to create 10 different browsers. 10 different pages will be created. And that will be for one page, will be for one YouTube channel or YouTube account. And I can start using those ones. So all I have to do is create different Gmail accounts. Then I will now use those Gmail accounts to create different YouTube channels that will be for that location. Do you see how powerful this can be? So this is how powerful multi-login can be. Now, you can use multi-login for quite a lot of other things that you would want to do, right? You can use multi-logins for a lot of other things. Let me make this important clarification. You see, I need to be very clear with this. This is not a spam tool. Multilogin is not a spam tool. It's not a fake engagement system. It's a workaround for platform rules. It is built for long-term ethical social media management. So if your goal is sustainable growth and client stability, structure is everything. And this is where you need Multilogin. Now, who should be using Multilogin? Now, Multilogin is ideal for social media freelancers. It's also ideal for marketing agencies, growth teams, and also for professionals that are managing multiple client accounts. If you only manage one personal account, you probably don't need Multilogin. But if you manage 5, 10, or 50 accounts, structure becomes essential. And this is where Multilogin comes in. How do you get started? If you want to test Multilogin for 3 days, I'm going to leave a link right in the description where you'll be able to try Multilogins for 3 days for just £1.99. and you can explore it yourself, explore the platform, and see how the platform could be of help to you. Remember, running multiple social media accounts safely isn't about tricks. It's about isolation. It's about consistency. It's also about professional workflows and also scalability. So Multilogin is the platform that gives you one ecosystem where you can manage both web and mobile work together securely and efficiently. And when your workflow is structured, your business can grow with confidence. So if you want to try Multilogin with 50% off on any of their monthly plans, you can use the code BizLift50, right? Showing on your screen right now. Use the code BizLift50 and you can get 50% off Multilogin if you're using their monthly plan. I'll see you in the next video.